Hello, this is Naila, and I am one half of that clay couple. We talk about the things that matter to you the most to guide you to have the most genius relationship with yourself so you can master the other relationships that matter to you the most. And there are so many relationships in our lives that matter to us, and definitely one of the most intense ones is that between a parent and a child. And when someone violates that, pretty much right in your face, but behind your back at the same time, it can definitely be devastating. And so we're going to talk about sexual abuse, but what it is that we want our children and our teens to know. But this is the problem. We want them to know, but don't nobody want to talk about it. So I don't know how this is going to happen, because if we don't talk about it, the people who actually care about them, who love them, who will keep them safe, then that means that the information that a child or a teen gets about sexual abuse is going to be given to them by a perpetrator. And does that make sense? And it's like, I don't know if anyone thinks like that. If you don't teach them about it, someone will. Children don't know it is wrong because it's something that we don't talk about. You're going to have the discussion with your child about abuse, even when abuse hasn't happened. And that's the problem, because people will say, and I'm talking about parents, well, it hasn't happened to my child, so I don't really want to plant any seeds. That's not even something that I really want to talk about. Someone else's seed will get planted in your child if you don't dig roots of information in your child or your teenager yourself. You are going to have to give the information, because if you do not, a perpetrator, a skilled, a masterful, a conniving perpetrator will take over that position for you, and you won't even know anything about it. All right, so the part about not knowing anything about it, because I think one of the things that is common is that, we tell children, if someone touches you, you need to come tell me. But if this really worked, for what reason do we have all of these children and these teens who are being abused and they don't tell anyone? Obviously, there is a loophole missing in there. So I've got a suggestion for you for that. Identify who can be told, because a perpetrator will teach and will groom a child not to tell parents. So come up with someone else that they can tell. Let it be grandma, the barber, a teacher, a coach. And the other part of that is sometimes it's easier to tell someone who doesn't live in the house, because sometimes it's happening in the house. And it's hard to tell a loved one about a loved one. And there's even an addition to that. When a perpetrator is someone that a parent relies upon, and I'm just going to give you a scenario. You're a single parent, doesn't even matter about gender, and you're relying upon someone to give your child a ride home, after practice, because you don't get off work in time to do it. This is someone that you rely upon, and the child, they see this. And this is someone that a child will be even less likely to tell on, because they see this dependence that you have upon them. This is all the more reason for you to have your own criteria about who you will have around your children, and not make excuses because you need something or because you love someone, and stick to that criteria even when you do not love this person, or when you don't have this need. If someone comes in your life that breaks your idea of, oh no, I'm not doing that, but you find that you have a fondness for them, stick to your rules. Stick to them, because you just opening the door. You falling for the okie doke too. Okay, so you need to identify who a child can tell outside of the house. Now, the other thing is that very often a perpetrator will tell the child, you know, you're wrong for this, even though the child wasn't the one who started it. And, or the child may even believe that, I don't know, something about this doesn't feel right, or because it's a secret, it's normal. It happens to everyone, you know, but we just don't talk about it. So if they believe that it's something that they've done wrong, they may also want to protect this person, particularly if it's a family member. So again, they don't tell. And the way to combat this is to have boundaries. All right, so one of the first things that most parents think of, and we buy the books and we get the coloring books, and you know, the daycare centers teach the good touch and the bad touch. That's good. But y'all, I'm gonna take it a little step further, and these are things that I don't really hear said often. And that is that we also need to be mindful that the good touch and the bad touch, but sometimes the bad touch may feel good. It is a physical touch. Now I'm going to say that again, that the bad touch may feel good physically. And for your child, your teenager to understand that just because it tickled or it felt soft or it felt good to you, it does not mean that it was okay. Because the belief is that a bad touch doesn't feel good, that the bad touch is going to be something that's hurtful, or that a bad touch is going to be in your private parts. I'm going to take it a little step further, folks. You know, when we talk about sexual assault, sometimes the child, their private parts are not touched. You need to let your child know that yes, it may include your private parts, someone else's private parts, a mouth, or an object may be inserted inside of you. And these are things that we don't necessarily talk about. That if someone tries to put something inside of you, we will tell them, okay, if someone tries to put a private part in you, you come to me and tell me. But people are repulsive and they are disgusting out there. And you do not want an ignorant child. And you will need to be able to let your child know that, you know, the definition of good touch and bad touch, we need to expand it. Because the perpetrator has expanded what they're doing, okay? And so talk about it with your child, because they should be able to, so that they will be able to know that all of these things are wrong. All right, so the next thing is that I don't know a parent who believes that their child is going to be the child that this is going to happen to. I believe that every parent believes, oh, I'm that parent. Not mine. I check people out. I ask questions. Trust and believe that there are people who believe that they have done the exact same thing. And as best they could, they probably have. They probably maybe also missed something. They may have trusted too much, particularly if it were within the family structure. I don't know the reasons for it to happen, but I want us to be sure that this is what we do, this one thing. Then when we tell our children, obey your elders, do what you're told, you better mind that teacher at school. Have y'all seen how many teachers have molested children just within 2018? I mean, it's a lot. Like the mug shots for it, it's extensive. And these are people who we tell, I want you to mind your teacher, and they better not call up here and tell me anything about you. And I happen to agree. But this is what it is that when you are telling them to comply, when you have someone who doesn't have good intention, you're telling them to comply with their perpetrator too. And this is when we have to have some boundaries, because these folks are experts at keeping you looking the other way. And parents are looking for something like real obvious, like for a teenager to get pregnant, for a STI, for bleeding, or something within the growing area, or a condom. I mean, because these are obvious signs of rape or abuse. Okay, but what you should always do is, again, I used this word earlier, boundaries. You obey the rules and you listen to your elders until there has to be an exception. Until someone does this, until someone touches you this way, until someone says, don't tell your mother or your father what we did. The rules have to flip. Children don't think like we do. They don't have that type of analytical ability. And it's okay. They're kids. Let them have a childhood. But you have to teach them that there are exceptions to the rule. Let them know no one should be telling you not to tell me anything. And if someone does tell you that, then you come and you tell quickly. Tell me quickly. If you are touched in a way and you don't know if it's good or if it's bad, don't try to figure it out, baby. You come and you tell me. You let them know that there are exceptions to the rule. And what we do in a beautiful way, when this happens, is that we teach our kids to trust their instincts. Because they're told to go against their instincts so much because of the rules that we give them, because they're supposed to behave, because they're supposed to obey their teacher, because this is someone that mama loves, because this is my dad's best friend. And so that they have all of these becauses, and none of these becauses fit in the paradigm of all those limitations that you told them. This person does not look like, the person that's described in Stranger Danger. It's not even a stranger. This person comes to the house regularly. I see this person every week at practice. This isn't stranger danger. They're not hairy with little beady eyes peering at me. I'm not even afraid until you leave the room. So we have to totally change our paradigm of how it is that our children get caught up in this. And remember, I want to go back. The key thing is, we wonder why children don't tell. They don't talk about it because you ain't talking about it. You are going to have to discuss these things. Teach them to follow their instincts. How many of us would have done something differently if we had listened to our gut? But we make excuses for not paying attention to the kick in our stomach. Well, that is a beautiful, natural gift. Let them pay attention to it and let them bring it to you so you can be the one to figure out what it means. All right. So I'm hoping that this will be helpful for someone. Please share it. Pass it on. Protect your children. But their line of protection is you. And they are only going to have as much safety, but build a wall. You know how Trump wants to build a wall? Well, the wall that you build around them is only going to be based on your own know-how and your own knowledge and your own insight about what you do. If you only know a little bit, your wall that you put around them is not going to be but so high. And you're going to put your babies at risk. And I don't believe that that's what you want to do. Okay, so let this not be about what I wish my child knew about sexual abuse. Let it be what my child can know and what I'm going to tell them. All right, you can find us at www.thatclaycouple.com. Let us know what you think in the comments. Please share it with someone. I'm hoping that we will be able to stop My first instinct is to say reduce. No, we need to stop. We need to stop it because reduction means that a child somewhere is still being harmed. Y'all have a good evening. Take care. Bye-bye.